Welcome to the Lovestead.
Hello, BookTube. Welcome to Lady Lovestead Reads. Today I'm doing the Mid-Year Freakout book tag. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure who originated this video. I've heard a couple people given credit for it. I'm going to share with you the person that I've heard given credit for it the most often, and if it's incorrect, please feel free to correct me in the comments down below. But as to my knowledge, the original creator of this tag is Earl Grey Books. I wasn't tagged by anyone in particular to do this tag video. It just looked like something fun to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Question 1. What is the best book that you've read so far this year? I, like any good reader, am going to break this up by genre that I like to read because who can ever pick just one book? So I broke it up by the genres that I read most frequently, starting with literary fiction. Probably the best book that I've read all year was actually the first book that I read this year, and it is We Are Not From Here by Torres Sanchez. I also really enjoyed so far this year in literary fiction Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata, Jonny Appleseed by Joshua Whitehead, Wintergirls by Laurie Halse, and The Chance to Fly by Ali Stroker and Stacy Davidowitz. This is a genre that actually became a new favorite genre for me this year, and that is cozy mystery. And the best cozy mystery I've read so far this year is On What Grounds by Cleo Coyle. Thriller and horror is one of my favorite genres. For thrillers or horror, some books that have been outstanding this year are Desperation by Stephen King, The Echo Wife by Sarah Bailey, and The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. For fantasy, my favorite fantasy book so far this year is actually a reread that I'm doing of The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. In nonfiction, we have How to Be Ace by Rebecca Burgess and Home Comforts by Cheryl Mendelson. In classics, Murder at the Vicarage by Agatha Christie. Now I know that this also counts as a cozy mystery because she is the mother of the cozy mystery genre, but I'm going to call it a classic. Also in classics is Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers, which was a surprise for me, but I really enjoyed Mary Poppins, the first book in the series, and I do plan on continuing that series. Question 2. What is the best sequel you've read so far? This award goes to Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. This is the second book in the Nevermore series, and it was fantastic. Question 3. What is a new release you haven't read yet but want to? Choose Me by Tess Gerritsen and another author I can't remember. I'll leave their name on the screen here for you. So she did co-write this story with someone. Tess Gerritsen is one of my all-time favorite authors, and she's an auto-buy for me. Whenever she puts out a new book, I buy it. So I do have Choose Me purchased on my Kindle, and I'm going to get to it soon. I don't even know what it's about because she's just an auto-buy author for me. So I'll tell you what it's about when I read it. Question 4. The most anticipated new release for the second half of this year. Velvet Was the Night by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Silvia Moreno Garcia wrote The Mexican Gothic, which was really popular. It came out last year in the fall, and I did read that and absolutely loved it. I loved her prose and her characterization and the atmosphere that Silvia Moreno Garcia created. And what I really like about her as a writer is that she doesn't let anyone put her in a box in terms of genre. She's written a lot of different books, and they each kind of fall into different genres. So I'm really excited to read this one and see what it's like. I need to get to her other backlist books as well, but that is a new release that I'm really looking forward to. It comes out in August. Question 5, the biggest disappointment of the year. And I have 4 books that have been extremely disappointing for me because there were 4 books I was really looking forward to and had high hopes for. The first one was Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I was very much looking forward to this. It was really hyped on BookTube, and it was a 1-star read for me. The second one was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, another book that was really hyped and that I was looking forward to, and it was a 2-star read for me. The third was The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I loved Erin Morgenstern's The Night Circus, and I was very much looking forward to this one, and it was also a 2-star read for me. And then the most recent one that was super disappointing was How to Find a Princess by Alyssa Cole. This is one of my anticipated new releases for the year, and I actually DNF'd it. Question 6, the biggest surprise of the year. My biggest surprise of the year wasn't necessarily a single book, but more that genre I discovered that I liked that really surprised me. So I like mafia romance and dark romance, and that came as a big surprise to me. Question 7, favorite new author, either new to you or debut author. A favorite new author to me, not a debut author, is Julia Buckley. Julia Buckley writes cozy mysteries, and I do believe that she also writes some romance, but I really, really like Julia Buckley's prose, and prose in a cozy mystery is usually not a component that gets a lot of attention. It's usually not something that's super integral to the genre, and Julia Buckley, her prose is just so good. And I mean, the cozy mystery aspects of it are good too, like the setting and the plot structure and all of that is really good, but the prose is so exquisite and beautiful that it makes the reading experience that much more wonderful. Question 8, who's your newest fictional crush? First one is Marcus Castor Roop from the book Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. I just loved him. I loved how sensitive he was. I loved how vulnerable he was. I loved how kind and caring and attentive he was in that book, and I just loved him. And then the second character is someone whose name I can't remember. I'll leave her name up on the screen here, but she is the professor in The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and not the professor that is accused of murder, the professor that was the mentor to Mariana. And she's like this older, elegant, sophisticated, extremely intelligent woman, and I just that's my type. Question 9, newest favorite character. And my newest favorite character is actually a character that I read this month, and it is Nikolai from the Shadow and Bone series by Leigh Bardugo. There were definitely parts of Shadow and Bone that I didn't love, that fell kind of flat for me, but overall I liked the series, but I really, really, really liked Nikolai. And I think that's pretty common among Shadow and Bone readers. I think it's pretty normal for people to like him as a favorite character, so, you know, I guess I'm part of the norm there. Question 10, a book that made you cry. So there were 3 books that have made me cry so far this year. The first one is We Are Not From Here by Torres Sanchez. That one made me ugly cry. The second book was How to Be Ace by Rebecca Burgess, because I just felt so seen reading that book. And the third book was How to Fly, or The Chance to Fly by Ali Stroker and Stacy Davidowitz, because it was just so beautiful. Question 11, a book that made you happy. For me this year, a book that really made me happy was The Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. This book was so whimsical and warm and life-affirming, and it's definitely going to be a book I go back to when I need a dose of serotonin. Question 12, the most beautiful book you have purchased this year or been gifted. Arabian Nights. This is the Barnes & Noble Special Edition, leather-bound edition, translated by Sir Richard Burton. It is the most beautiful book I have purchased this year. It is the most beautiful book in my collection, hands down. It's got the gold edges. The cover is intricate and beautiful. Here's the inside. It has beautiful illustrations. Let me find one for you. Oh, yes. Yes. So gorgeous illustrations. Hands down, the most beautiful book that I own. I am in love. Question 13. What books do you still need to read by the end of the year? I feel like I should just say yes. And leave it at that. But no, truly, there are some specific books that I would like to get to by the end of the year. If you watch my video, Readathon Pop, I list out a bunch of books that I have planned out for various readathons that I'm behind on, but that I still plan to read. So all of those books would be books that I need to get to on my list. I have several series that I would like to wrap up this year as well. The first is the Miss Marple series by Agatha Christie. My original goal was to read one Agatha Christie a month, and that would basically get me through the Miss Marple series, and I'm really behind on that, so I need to get it in high gear if I want to actually accomplish that goal. The second one is the Mercy Thompson series by Patricia Briggs. I would like to be up to date on that series, and that shouldn't take me too long. And I think that's why I've been putting it off, because I know if I just sit down and do it, like, those books take me maybe 3 or 4 hours to read a single book. So I can do this. And then the next one is I want to finish my reread of the Rizzoli and Isles series by Tess Gerritsen. She does have a new book in that series coming out soon, so I want to make sure I'm through my reread of that so that I can get to the newest one. And then I would like to be up to date on the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. I only have one book left to read, which is Hollowpox, and I will be caught up on that series. Lizzie at Lizzie Faye Reads created a Serious About Series challenge where you list out 21 book series that you would like to get through or make progress on this year. And I'm probably going to make a separate video about that, because there are several series that I do specifically want to focus on and make progress on. But those 1, 2, 3, 4 are the ones that I absolutely want to finish up. Oh, and let's add 5. I want to read Midnight Sun so that I'm all caught up on Twilight as well, and I can put it out of my mind. So yeah, those 5: Twilight, Mercy Thompson, Miss Marple, Rizzoli and Isles, and Nevermore. Those are the series that I 100% am going to get through before the end of this year. Along with my readathon pop, and who knows, I mean, you're all readers. You know how this works. Alright, that'll do it for this video. If you made it this far, please comment down below with a stack of books emoji, because we are booktubers and we love books. I hope that everyone's doing well and enjoying their summer so far. Anything else you want to chat about, feel free to comment down below. And until next time, make sure to continue to read good books, drink good coffee, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!